Hello, this is Lisa Clark. Thanks for joining me on my page, Therapy Art for You. And this is the Mardis Gras Mask Part 8. And I'm trying to sneak that reference photo in here so you can take a look and see what I'm trying to do. I use it as a reference only, not to duplicate it. But yeah, you can kind of get an idea of where I'm going with this mask. Most of the swirls I do repeat on my painting. Placement of the swirls are slightly different, and that's my preference. That was my perspective on it. That's how I wanted it to look. And I am working on the shadow effect on this mask that's over the bridge of the person's nose, and it will require me to put a lot of shadow in there. And I was erasing some of the lines that were not right. That's what you see me doing there, and I will include that eraser. There's two different erasers I used, and I'll include that in the description below the video. But yeah, I was just trying to remove some of the lines that I had put in there that I didn't like. I wanted it to look more balanced, more equal on either side. I want it to be a part of the picture. I don't want your eyes to go to the fact that at first they were not very balanced. So now they look a little bit more balanced. And that's what you saw me doing there, was just kind of correcting that. I'm doing a lot of freehanding here because the pans did cover up some of my trace work that I did initially. So I'm really having to eyeball it and try to get it as balanced as possible, or at least to my liking. It's never easy to just freehand it, especially when you're trying to make it equal on both sides. But I'm always open to a good challenge like that. I did freehand all the small swirls that you see on the top left of the mask right there. And I'm going to realize here towards the end of this video that although I like the way those swirls came out on the left hand side of the mask, I realized at the end, like, oh wow, yeah, I'm going to have to repeat all that on the right hand side of the mask to make it look balanced. But I will point that out here towards the end of this video. But right now I'm freehanding the tracing. I'm trying to figure out if I like the placement of the cracks that will be on this mask, that kind of interrupt the swirls there on the right. That's going to be a little tricky, but that's okay. I don't mind at all. I think the end result will be really, very cool, and I'll like it a lot. I like it a lot. I really will. I keep telling myself that. At this point, when I'm doing this voiceover for this video, I'm nowhere near the end of the finishing this mask, but I really do like the direction it's going thus far. So I am sure I'm going to like it at the end. A lot of time has been spent with the details, getting the shading correct for the cracks and the highlights correct, getting that depth feeling. That was more freehand work on that middle jewel looking piece, that oval looking piece, and going back to this deep crack that I want to create here in the mask. I want to make it look three-dimensional, so a lot of shading, a lot of trial and error, and that's okay. That's how we all learn. That's how we get better at art, creating the things that we want it to be. So never give up, just keep going forward. This pastel board has been awesome to work with. I really like it. I'll definitely be using more of that in future products, especially with pastels. It's just awesome to work with. But yeah, that's what you're seeing. Little detail work. A lot of detail work. Not a little. That's a lot. Little bit of highlights. And then I'm going to point out, yeah, I need it to look more unified, more balanced, as well as this top part. Those swirls right there, I'm going to have to now recreate those on the other side, and they need to kind of lay right about there. So I'm going to have to figure all that out. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.